So you sit down at your computer on Thursday and you have no idea what to write about for your next newsletter. Or maybe you're working through what to write about on social media. What content are you supposed to be creating right now? And you feel lost. You feel overwhelmed. Should you start with pattern that you're about to launch? Or should you be working on a class that's coming up in a few weeks? Or maybe you need to be talking about, that thing you created that you can sell over and over again, like a book, or maybe it's your freebie. Should you be sharing a lead magnet? So if this is you, when you sit down to start marketing, I have something that's going to help so much, and it's a promotion calendar. Now, this is a calendar that you may have created before, but normally what happens is that we create it, feel pretty good about this plan that we've put together, and then in 3 weeks, life happens, or you get inspired by something random and you just want to launch whatever you're creating right now. Or you're so overwhelmed by your regular work that the calendar feels like one more thing that just you have to do, or you feel like it's judging you. And the calendar, you close it, or you toss it, or you just forget about it. I stack books on top of mine, and sometimes it goes to the side for a bit. And you end up doing the exact same thing you've always done. You're scrambling, you're reacting, you're overwhelmed, and you only launch halfway, and you only launch when you even remember to. But here's the thing. A promotion calendar doesn't rule your life. It can actually be the opposite and give you permission to rest. Before I dive into creating a promotional calendar and sharing how I do this, I would love for you to leave a review for the podcast so that I can know what you're enjoying and so other people can find the podcast. So, hey, I'm Tori. Welcome to the Hey Tori podcast, where I answer real digital marketing questions from quilters, crafters, and creative entrepreneurs just like you. I'm Tori McElwain, digital marketing coach and fellow quilter and founder of the Digital Marketing Magic Coaching Program, or the DMMC. So every episode, I take a real question or a struggle and I walk you through exactly how I would coach it. No fluff or generic advice is built for crafters. So today we're talking about something that sounds boring, right? I mean, to be honest, it sounds boring, but actually it can change everything. It can really change how you show up in your business. It's the promotion calendar, and what it actually is, why you keep abandoning it, and how to build one that works with your life instead of against it. So I'm also walking you through my exact process for building mine, my framework, the timing, the rest that's built right in. And I'm going to show you one of the most useful DMMC tools that can help make this less overwhelming. So let's get into it. This question came from someone I've been working with for a few years. And then it started coming up more and more. And then I've had more people come to me just for this problem, this overwhelm, this just tell me what to do and when to do it. And they lay out all of the things they have in your business. Because as creative business owners, we typically have different segments of our business to help keep us going, right? So as an example, when I was a pattern designer, I also taught. I was more like a teacher with patterns, actually. But I also did guild presentations and I did long arming for local customers. So I had different arms of my business and I wanted to be able to promote all of them to help my business make more money. Now, the generic business advice out there is to pick one thing and go all in. Now, that can work for you. However, if you are more like other creative entrepreneurs that I've worked with, you have different things you want to promote in different ways. And that is where we come in with a promotion schedule or a promotion calendar. But if you're going to do this work with me, either live on this episode, or if you hear this while you're driving or while you're sewing and you want to do this later, adopt a calendar that you will actually look at. If you're a paper person, use paper. If you're a digital person, use digital. Personally, I like to plan my promotions on paper, actually on a whiteboard first, then paper for the more specifics. And then I include the main dates in my digital calendar, a Google Calendar, because I like the reminders. So pick what works for you and put it in front of your face. I'm serious. Put it in front of your face. So if you're somebody who loves paper, get a wall calendar and put it up on the wall. I mean, you can print month to month if that's what you need to do and just have it up there. I have a few clients who have the entire year up on the wall. That is amazing. If I had the wall space, that's exactly what I would be doing, but I don't have a wall big enough to hold 12 months. So I have a printout of all 12 months that I flip through. It works for me. Do what works for you and keep it handy. Keep it in front of your face where you will see it and you will not lose it. Or as I mentioned earlier, if things get stacked on top of it, have some way where you can quickly get it. So mine is a digital version. So I have the specifics on paper and I have the digital version for quick reference. Okay. Here we go. So let me show you how I build my promo calendar and why it works. And I will say I've just recently started calling this a promotion calendar because I didn't know there was a way to describe it until recently. So if you've been around me for a minute, you've heard me talk about quarterly planning and yearly planning. And literally that is what we've been doing, is building out a promotion calendar. So if you go to a planning session with me, we're going to be building your promo calendar. So here's what I see happening when people build these promo calendars in one of two ways. Either they make them way too detailed. Every email subject line, every real caption, every post maps out in advance, and then real life hits and they feel like they're failing because they can't stick to this detailed plan that they've created. Or the opposite of that, it's too vague. It's like launch something in March. And they end up scrambling anyway because there's no actual structure to follow. So the real issue is that they don't account for the actual rhythm of their own processes, of their own creative business. You have seasons and you have energy cycles and you have the fact that we are creatively inspired, and your creativity doesn't always show up when you need it to. Okay. Inside the DMMC, we do yearly planning, yes, but we also do quarterly planning to keep us on track and to look at what new opportunities have come about. So here is how I build my promo calendar. I list out my main offers, everything that I want to be able to promote throughout the year. And sometimes I look at the past year to get some ideas. And if I don't like how those things happened, how the launches went, how the offer sold, then I'll kind of cross that out. But I list out everything big that I want to do. So if you are a pattern designer, when are you going to be releasing patterns? Are they going to be a bundle drop? Are they going to be once every quarter? Are they going to be every month? Or are they going to be 2 in the year? How often are you going to be dropping patterns? The next thing I would look at is your next offer. So are you teaching? How often do you want to be teaching? Where are your guild presentations? So I would list out all the things that you're going to be making money from for the next year. Then what I would do is literally get your calendar. So if it's paper, get the paper. If it's on the wall, grab your Sharpie or your, what do you call it? Dry erase marker, and put down first the big events in your life. I'm talking birthdays, anniversaries, big holidays that you have to do a lot of prep and planning around. All the big things that are happening this year include vacations, if you're taking vacations. Then, after you've got your big things in that calendar, I want you to look at, when are you building in some time to rest from those big things? So Christmas is a big thing in my house. We spend the entire December doing all the Christmassy things. So, and the week of Christmas, I pretty much take it off because there's so much going on. And then right after Christmas, I take 2 weeks to not do much of anything. Sometimes I feel really energized afterwards, and that's when I'll start planning for my year. But if I'm not feeling energy, I've scheduled that time into rest. So how much time do you need after a big event? And then work that into your calendar. Okay, now that we have your personal life on the calendar, because you need to put those on there, it keeps your sanity. Okay, got the big events on there. Next, I would sprinkle in any medium ones. School starting is a big one for our family. So I would put when school's starting, when school's ending, and then any big events that I know is coming, or bigger events that aren't quite as big as the ones I was just thinking of. But you get the gist. Put your personal stuff on the calendar first. And then look at your list of things that you want to promote for the next year. What is launching? What is relaunching? What would you like to develop and launch? Now, you don't have to have all the answers for the entire year right now. That's one reason why we're creating the promo calendar, so you can see where you have space. Okay, so we got our big personal stuff. We've got our big launches listed out, and now we're going to put those launches on the calendar. So we talked earlier about how many patterns are you going to be launching. So if you listed out like 5 patterns and maybe you just labeled them pattern 1, pattern 2, or pattern for quarter 1, that's okay. Now we're going to actually put those on the calendar. Where on that calendar are you going to do your big launches? Now, in the previous episode, the one right before this, we talked about launching and working your way back from that launch date. So if you know your launch date and you know it's a pattern and you know you typically take about 10 or 2 weeks to launch a pattern, then you know for 2 weeks, all you're doing is talking about a pattern, right? And then those 2 weeks are done. They're full. They are for this first pattern. And you do that with every pattern drop you're going to do. Now, it works the same as a workshop. So if you're doing workshops 2 weeks before the workshop, you're talking about nothing but that workshop. If it's a on-demand workshop, you could do it the same way. It really is what fits your bandwidth and what you typically do. Now, if you don't know what you typically do, if you don't have a sales system yet, that is where the episode right before this, where I asked, what is launching? That is a great episode for you to listen to. It'll help you build out those numbers, like how many days this might take. Now, directly after that closed cart date, I want you to schedule at least 2 days of rest. 2 days where you are not doing anything, because launches drain all of your energy. And if you don't plan to rest, most of us will not rest, or we will be forced to rest before our next event or thing we're going to do. After you get that filled in, take a step back. Take a step back from it and really take a look at your year. Where do you see time to develop new things, to create? Where do you see time to work on your business? So correcting systems, hiring a VA, maybe. Where do you see time where you can actually fill in some of the knowledge that you need to gather? So if you are thinking you really want to learn more about filming and recording for future workshops, work those things in. Which month, which couple of weeks are you going to dedicate to learning these skills? That's the next thing I would look at. Now, the magic of this is really understanding your bandwidth. It's understanding where the open spots are that you can then fill throughout the year. It's also understanding that this promo calendar just set what your emailed newsletter is going to be about. It just set what your social media is going to be about. And it just set what your core content, your long form content that you'll be creating when you'll do all of that. It just did that without you having to sit down and feeling overwhelmed. So every promotion calendar is going to look very personalized. It's going to be very customized for you. And I want to talk about a little bit about how this helped one of my clients. And honestly, it's helped so many of them. But again, if you lose this calendar, if you don't have something in front of you that kind of outlines the next 90 days or the next 6 months or even the next year, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel like you're floundering. So one of my clients came to me. She has several arms of her business. So one thing she does is a subscription box. Another thing that she does, and it's a quarterly subscription box, she has patterns and she has classes. So she was feeling really overwhelmed. And what we did was we prioritized what her time needs to be spent on based off of how much money each offer brought in. So, and which offers could be postponed depending on their urgency. So for instance, her subscription box needs to go out every quarter. She has people paying her quarterly for this box. There is no real wiggle room when it comes to sending out a box for a subscription. Then her classes are held by her and they're live on Zoom. there is some wiggle room there. If she needs to, she can push the date of those if she needs to. And then her pattern sales, her pattern development, things that she really, really wanted to get done for a certain amount of time, we allocated for that as well. So look at first what's bringing in more money, because our businesses need that money to keep moving forward. Without money, our businesses aren't businesses, they're hobbies. So look at what's bringing in the money and then follow the money. Then look at urgency. What needs to be done now? Does the class need to happen now? Or do we need to finish that pattern so the class can happen after that pattern happens? That helps you set a reasonable sequence. And after our session together, so she's in the DMMC and she booked a one-on-one with me, because you get 50% off when you're a DMMC member. So any one-on-ones you want to do outside of what the program offers, it's 50% off. So we went through all of the things she needed to do, organize them, put them in order of do this, then this, then this, then this. And you could see the stress just melt away. And what did she do? She followed the plan. She followed the plan. She got her box out on time. She got her pattern done when she wanted to. She had to put off the class for, I think it was a week or two, but it was not very far or not very long that she had to put it off. But then she was able to host the class. And it was wonderful to see her the next time and her talking about all the things that she got done and her wins for in between that time when I saw her and the next time I saw her. And this is not just one quilter story. This happens so many times throughout my business and working with one-on-one clients. Having someone tell you what to do when is so valuable. And you can do it for yourself by using a promotion calendar. Now, if you would like help with this, I do have the DMMC. But okay, one thing, let's do our Hey Tori takeaway real quick. Hey Tori takeaway. If you do not have a year's worth of planning to do, if that sounds completely overwhelming, this is what I want you to start with. Look at the next 90 days. So right now, when I release this episode, it'll be August. The next 90 days will prep you for fall launches, which is the most active time, especially for our industry, but it's all over really. But the quilting industry is coming back to life. The crafting, knitting industry is coming back to life starting in August. This is when school starts. This is when the weather is too hot to go outside, but we're dreaming of fall and we start thinking about fall projects. It's a wonderful time to sit down and look at the next 90 days. If you need a little more help on the planning, go back to our episode right before this called What is a Launch? If today's episode resonated with you, if you felt that frustration of planning without sticking to it, I want you to know that this is exactly what we work on together inside the Digital Marketing Magic Coaching Program. We have annual planning, we have quarterly planning that walks us through the year, and then we break it down every 90 days to make sure you are hitting the promotion calendar and the goals that you've set for your business. And it's really to help you map out all of the little pieces in your business when it comes to digital marketing. So like I said, after you have that calendar filled in, you'll know exactly what to make your long form content about. You know exactly what to post on social media. You'll know exactly what to write about for your newsletters. And you'll know how much bandwidth you have. So if you want to join a challenge, if you want to join a blog hop, if you want to do a summit, you know exactly what you have the bandwidth for. And if you have a question you want me to answer on a future episode, please, please, please send it my way. I have not gotten any questions this season. So I'm looking at my members, what they've been asking in coaching. I've been looking at what you guys have been talking about on social media and what you've been responding to when I post and share. But if you have a specific question or a general question or a brain dump, send it to me and I will create a question out of it. I would love to hear what you're thinking about, what you're struggling with, and how I can help. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a quick review. It'll help me know what I'm doing well with, and it'll help other people find the podcast. Till next time, keep creating, keep marketing, and remember, you don't have to figure this out alone. I'm Tori, and I'll talk to you soon.